living today Dr. Wendy Walsh because of lung cancer, mesothelioma, or asbestosis.
I'm gonna give y'all mad new videos and shit before my tape drop. Just cause.
Even if they smoked.
You got the light on?
Dr. Wendy, has the number of workers exposed to this risk declined since asbestos
nigga said March. I know, bro.
In the late 70s?
Don't be shit like this.
The answer is yes there, Tony. The number of workers exposed to asbestos
Sleepy, I told you need to
since asbestos regulations have been put in place. Currently, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration estimates that 1,300,000 workers, primarily in construction and building and equipment maintenance trades, are still exposed, though, to this danger. That's a lot of people.
I should have never told y'all my shit gonna drop in March.
And of course, we can't forget the hundreds of thousands of people.
I'm capping though. It's gonna drop early, and just for me, just chill.
Asbestos-related disease caused by exposure years ago.
Dr. Wendy, so what can you tell us about asbestos exposure and how it has become such a serious health issue?
Sure, Tony. Asbestos exposure occurs when microscopic asbestos fibers become airborne and are then inhaled or ingested by anyone in close proximity to those fibers. Now, one of the problems is that these fibers can remain airborne for hours, placing anyone in the body in danger of ingesting them. While the body can get rid of some of the fibers, many become stuck in tissue, such as the lungs. As I mentioned earlier, asbestos exposure from asbestos-contaminated talcum powder has also been reported. Although no levels of asbestos exposure is considered safe, most serious health issues arise after long-term exposure to asbestos.
So, when these fibers are ingested, how does that lead to the serious illnesses you've mentioned?
Because it's taking you like
that once the fibers are inhaled or ingested, they can become trapped in the tissues of the respiratory or digestive tract. And when that happens, these stuck fibers slowly cause inflammation and cellular changes that can lead to serious disease. In some cases, decades later. The cancers caused by asbestos exposure include mesothelioma, which is a rare and incurable cancer that develops in the lining of the lungs or abdomen, and lung cancer, which also develops in the lining of the lungs. Another cancer caused by asbestos exposure is ovarian cancer. Non-cancerous conditions caused by asbestos.
I've been feeling old.
She wanna smoke, yes, tell him. I wanna smoke up the weed.
Shut up.
And relaxing. Other
non-cancerous conditions include
fibrous thickening of the lining around the lungs, a buildup of fluid around the lungs that causes difficulty breathing, extensive scarring that causes chest pain and breathing issues, and inflammation that causes the lining of the lung to fold in on itself, causing the lung to underinflate.
Yeah, Dusty Locane is eyes.
Wendy, I'm sure this is
not jacking
information for a large number of people. So let's take a moment to give our viewers with concerns about the impact asbestos exposure may have had on their lives. Time to call our helpline for more information. If someone has been diagnosed with lung cancer, mesothelioma, or asbestosis after exposure to asbestos, you need a legal team that has the experience and resources to get the most compensation for your injuries. Call the number on the screen now.
Oh nah, my brother went off. Nah, I'm not even gonna do that.
Don't do that. I know what you was about to do too.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with lung cancer, mesothelioma, or asbestosis? Your disease may be a result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation, even if you have a history of smoking. Reports indicate that millions of Americans have been exposed to the dangers of aerosol asbestos fibers in occupations including roofing and building materials, automotive repair shops, railroads, shipyards, and companies involved in repair, renovation, or removal of asbestos-containing materials. Additional occupations exposed to asbestos risk include firefighters, police, and paramedics. Family members of workers are also at risk for asbestos-related illnesses due to secondhand exposure to asbestos brought into a worker's home on their clothing. It is alleged that manufacturers have known for decades that asbestos is known